What's up guys, my name is Laura. If you guys haven't seen my face before, or this is the first time you have stumbled across one of my videos, make sure to hit that red subscribe button so you guys can stay around. If you guys haven't caught up with all of my Bali videos, I will leave them in a playlist down below so you guys can check those out. So for today's video, I want to talk all about where to stay in Bali and how much it costs, because that's always the #1 question that I get asked. And so I'm going to be going into price and everything and where you should stay. Also my hotel and villa experiences and where I've stayed to give you guys suggestions if you are planning a trip to Bali. And if you guys have never been to Bali before, I would definitely recommend checking out my How to Travel Bali video, because I actually go over all the areas in that video and I have maps and everything, so it will just be a bit more clear if you guys watch that first and then come back to this one. I will wait. Okay, let's continue. So if you guys remember that video, I talk about flying into the airport located just outside of Denpasar, and then once you land there, the closest town that people usually go to is Kuta. So what I actually like to do first is just to go to Google and search up blank hotels. So in this case, we're going Kuta hotels, and then a list comes up and you can select the dates. It's kind of like any sort of search engine that you'd search up hotels on, like Expedia or that kind of thing. So the first thing you can see is that I have August 1st, August 15th. So I'm going to be using the same date for every single area we're searching, and the prices will change depending on what time of year you go. So obviously in peak season, it's going to be the most expensive, and then in low season, you might be able to get a bit of a deals on nicer hotels. So that's kind of something to consider. But obviously with the weather, you don't necessarily want to go when it's not peak season because you might not have the best weather. So one thing you'll get with Kuta is you will get a lot of those big chain hotels like the Best Western. You'll find Sheraton hotels, Courtyard by Marriott hotels, and to be honest, Kuta, as I have mentioned in other videos, isn't my favorite place. The first time I actually backpacked here, I ended up staying in Kuta for like a week, and it has stuff like McDonald's and big malls and that kind of thing. So it is very commercialized, and if you've been to Bali a few times, you probably don't want that. Maybe you do like it, totally up to you. But as you can see here, 4 Points by Sheraton, it's a 4-star hotel, and you're looking at about $101 US a night. And then you have another 3-star here, which is the Best Western Kuta Beach, and it's $38 a night. And if you actually go and look up the photos, you'd be surprised, because a hotel you'd pay $38 for at home, you would probably never want to actually stay there. Whereas here, this is actually really nice, and for $38, you can't beat it. And as for a 5-star, you're looking at about $150 US, which is not bad. Moving on to Seminyak, which is an area that I do like to go. When I go to Bali, I will often look up hotels there. The first one that actually comes up on the list here, and is one that I've stayed at, is Gili, and this is $72 a night. It's a 4-star hotel. We actually ended up staying here on Nepe Day, which was a day of silence, so you actually weren't allowed to go out on the street that day. Absolutely nothing was open. The reason we chose to stay in the hotel was because they were actually serving food there, but it was kind of cool because I had never done a hotel experience in Bali, so I did get to see that side of it, and the rooms were really nice. When I go to Bali, I try to not really do hotels because you can, for the same price, get a really nice private villa. So we're going to jump over to a website called homeaway.com, which is actually what I use to book a lot of my accommodation when I'm in Bali. So as you can see on the map, we are going north, so Kuta is right here, and we're going up to this area. So to show you guys how affordable it actually is to rent a private villa, this one right here is $74 a night, and this thing is all to yourself. So you have a private pool. The bathroom on this one doesn't look like the cutest, but that looks romantic, doesn't it? And obviously the more money you spend, the more swanky of a villa you're going to be getting. This obviously is on the lower end of villas because it's under $100, but if you're willing to spend $100 to $200 a night, you can often find 1 or 2 bedroom villas like this one right here that's $193 a night. And you have your own private pool, you have a beautiful bathroom, a beautiful living room. For $223 a night, this villa here sleeps 6 people, which is about $37 per person. If you have a group of people especially, doing villas is the way to go. Usually I will look on HomeAway. I find HomeAway and Airbnb are the 2 ones that I often go to find villas. And if you do want more of a villa style of a hotel, but you just have 2 people and you're not looking to spend that much money, what you can actually do is stay in a place like this. And it is a boutique hotel, and this place right here is only $28 a night, and you have a really nice pool. You also have a pool table, a gym, oh my gosh, a rooftop patio. See, look at this. So this looks like a nice, decent hotel, and it still has that villa feel. You have a lady on a really tiny inflatable flamingo. And you have a pretty nice bedroom and bathroom, and it's not going to be anything crazy luxury, but as you can see here, this is totally great, especially for $28 a night. If you do want to stay in a villa but you want to have the amenities of a resort, what you can actually do is a resort style villa. One of the places just like this that I stayed was called the Equilibria in Seminyak, and it was located just right off the main street, and this was actually the safest feeling villa that I stayed in because you had to go through the front desk and then all the way down, basically past a bunch of security, and you were in these really secure villas. And so not like I really ever felt in danger when I was in Bali, but it is kind of nice to have the amenities that you would have at a resort. So we could order room service, we got breakfast every morning, we also had a bellboy that was on this little cell phone that we could call if we needed anything. And so something like that, if you are looking for something a bit more kind of special but still resorty, that's not like doing your own thing, do you know what I mean? Because when you do rent from HomeAway or Airbnb, you do have to meet the owner or the property person, and a lot of times these villas are located down like long roads, kind of off the main streets, which most of the villas are, but some of the villas might not be as secure as others. One of the villas we did rent, we did feel not super safe in because it didn't have security, which a lot of the villas will actually come with. They'll have a person that just sits kind of in a front booth. Another way to look for villas is to search on Instagram, and you guys have probably seen a ton of villa photos of Bali on Instagram. What you can actually do is you can just search up the hashtag Bali villas or something like that, Villa Bali, and you can search through the photos on there, find something that you like. That's actually how a friend of mine got in contact with a villa called Villa Mimi. This place did have 24-hour security, and it was down at the end of a long road, but all along the road there was private villas with huge walls, and so it did feel very safe. And the villa itself was absolutely stunning. It was this 3-bedroom villa that had its own private kitchen and lounge area and pool, and that was a really cool place to stay. It was a bit more on the expensive side, so if you see those really swanky villas, you're probably looking, if they have 3 bedrooms, at like maybe the $200 to $300 mark. But like I said, split between 6 people, it's still not that much money. And the last place we stayed in Seminyak that I want to talk about is called Kosta Hostel, and hostels are definitely located all around Bali. Especially if you are a solo traveler, this is a really great way to meet other people and socialize. So this place that we stayed was really clean and really nice. As you can see here, it's only $34 a night. And what I liked about this was that it was really inexpensive, and yet it had that trendy Bali feel, and the food was absolutely amazing. You can definitely get cheaper hostels. As you can see, we have $17, $18 a night, $13 a night. That's what's nice about Southeast Asia, is you're literally spending like $5 to maybe $20 a night if you're staying in a hostel, and so it's very inexpensive, very affordable, and you can basically travel forever. So moving on to Canggu, it is very similar to Seminyak in regards to price, and so as you can see here, looking on the map, we have a lot of hotels that are around the $50 and under range, and the more expensive hotels, like before, are going to be around $100 to $200 a night. They also have a lot of surf camps here, which is very cool. So you can stay in a guest house and also go surfing. One of my favorite places that we stayed when we were in Canggu was called the Chill House. And what I really liked about it is they had daily yoga classes. They also have breakfast included, which a lot of these villas, if you stay in more kind of like hotel type villas, they will have breakfast included. So on HomeAway.com in Canggu, this is an example of a 2-bedroom villa that's 4 minutes from Eco Beach. It's a really popular area that people will go and surf. And look at these photos. This thing is beautiful. $145 a night. Do you see this living room? This is insane. See, I still, when I go on these websites, I'm like still shocked with how affordable it actually is. This is crazy. So as you can see, this place sleeps 4 people. It is a 2-story villa, very spacious, it says. So another one of the villas that I stayed at when I was in Canggu was called the Jungle Room Bali. It had very traditional feeling villas. Basically with Bali, you're gonna have 2 styles of villas. You're gonna have the old school kind of Bali villas, and then you're gonna have the new and modern villas. So it totally depends on what you prefer. I kind of like to do a bit of a mix because it is fun to have the traditional Bali villa, but it's also fun too to have like the luxury swanky type villa. But Canggu is probably my favorite area because it does have a lot of really great restaurants and fun shops, and it's a bit more laid back. So when people actually go and live in Bali, a lot of times they will be in Canggu because it has more of that kind of homey feel. And to get actually from Seminyak to Canggu, it's not too long of a car ride, especially if you are comfortable going on a motorbike. You can get there really quickly, and so it doesn't really matter if you're staying in Canggu or Seminyak, because if you want to go from one place to the other, you can just hop in a cab. It takes maybe about 20 minutes in between. If it's for sunset, it's going to take a bit longer because because there's a traffic jam usually around that time. But even if you are staying in Seminyak, you can easily get to Canggu for sunset or dinner, so don't stress too much. Either way, you're gonna have a great time. So moving on to Ubud, I want to talk about prices for there. So in Ubud, there is a lot of resort style villas. One of the places we actually stayed, which you guys have probably seen a photo from, this flower bath photo, which you see a lot of influencer type people getting, is at a hotel called the Odea. And this hotel is really nice. It is a little bit pricey, but if you're going there for a special occasion or a honeymoon or something like that, then this is a really great hotel to look at. If you do want to stay in a bit of the swankier hotels in Ubud, you are looking at around $200 to $300. So this one's a really nice one right here. Kamandalu. So this one's $290 a night and has really beautiful villas, and usually these prices as well will be kind of for the basic room. So once you actually go in and look at the villas, if you want a really nice villa that has a pool, maybe an infinity pool, you might actually be looking at like $400 to $500 a night. So the hotels I'm talking about that are very expensive are hotels like the Ritz-Carlton. A place in Ubud that my mom and I stayed is a place called the Dessa Vicessa, and it did have both hotel rooms and villas. So depending on your budget, you can still stay at a nice resort, but then maybe opt for the hotel room if you're on a bit of a budget. I have also stayed in cheaper villas that I've rented off HomeAway and Airbnb, and as you can see here, you can get something. So this one is 2 bedrooms, $82 per night. Okay, next up we have Uluwatu. And in Uluwatu, you're going to be getting a lot of luxury clifftop resorts like Hideaway Bali's Villa. This one you are looking at $132 a night. I have a few friends that this is actually their favorite area to stay in because you do have those stunning beaches and really beautiful lookout spots. You can find more simple villas for under $100 a night here, and then same kind of pricing as Canggu and Seminyak. $100 to $200 is for about a 2-bedroom, sleeps 4. This is going to be more in the middle of Uluwatu, so it's not actually going to have a view of the ocean. Moving on to Nusa Dua, you have the all-inclusive luxury style resorts. I actually stayed in a really nice hotel there called the Anaya Putri, and it was my last 3 days in Bali. You can also find affordable resorts here, but you are looking at about at least $100 a night, up to, oh geez, okay, the Ritz-Carlton is normally $880 a night, but for some reason these dates it's showing me $311 on hotels.com, so you need a deal right now, check that out. Moving on to the Neuse Islands. So here you are looking at under $100 a night because it's very basic and simple accommodation. There's really no luxury anything on this island. Most people actually come here for day trips, and so when you do stay overnight, you aren't looking at anything too expensive. On to the Gili Islands. I'd definitely recommend checking these out if you guys have time because it's a totally different feel of Bali. It's super laid back and relaxing, and so here it's about the same as the other islands. So you're looking at around 50 to maybe 200 at most. So Gili Tea, for example, I see one here that's $353 a night. But as you can see, it has the word estate and luxury in it. So that's what you get when you spend $350 a night. And then on this side of the island here, so 172. On this side, which is the very kind of like bump in party area, you're looking at basically $30 to $50 a night. For Gili Meno and Gili Air, it is also under $100 per night. That is it for my where to stay in Bali video. I hope you guys found this helpful. And if you guys have any questions, make sure to leave those down below. I will definitely make sure to answer those. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure to do that. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram as well, that would be pretty neat. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.